I had to take another break and fix a bug related to my fleet. The Mambas, something was faulty with their fleet settings after splitting them up into those 3 smaller fleets, but this is fixed now. And this is also exactly why I'm doing this playthrough, to find bugs like these and give you guys the best experience once the mod goes live for real. And I have recycled those 9 Mambas and rebuilt 6 of them, and now it's working. So we have 2 Mamba fleets protecting our territory right now, and I have ordered a few more factories. I'm actually going for a second satellite factory because we can sell those to make a quick buck. But mostly this sector is going to be our energy production. And our large transport is currently on its way to build the second outpost. And I am in the Kea Scout and currently trying to find the connection to the OCV Maelstrom sector. And we also had a Karg raid nearby. But they are quite powerful, and there's nothing we can do about it. I've also sent another Mamba up here to the Teladi to scan some of their blueprints. Because the Teladi have some very cheap ships which are still quite sturdy. They have bad shielding in 0 hour but are very cheap, and the Teladi fleets are also larger for this reason. But their hull strength and the weapons are still pretty decent, and they are dirt cheap, so it's very good for the early game to scan some Teladi ship designs. I'm currently researching a Paranit corvette, but I'm not sure if this is a good idea. So maybe we're gonna switch over to Teladi ships soon. But first I want to find this OCV connection. Lots of empty sectors down here. But we still see the occasional trader, so there must be more faction territory around here. There's definitely a gate there. That's our direction. But we could hop over into Teladi space actually.
Entering system Midnight Star.
Whoa, they have many ships for real. Okay. Just let the Kea advance on his own.
Command accepted.
And we are gonna snatch a blueprint. Now, which ship do we take? The Teladi have the Osprey and the Heavy Osprey. And the Heavy Osprey is not much more expensive, but way better. So we're gonna go for the Heavy Osprey.
Battle group, Heavy Osprey, scanning.
And just scan a bunch of them.
Data download started.
while we get information with the large Teladi ship.
Autopilot activated.
This is the glory of 0 Hour's fleet formations, which were not in the base game, the base Mayhem 3 mod. Here the fleets actually take decent formation and don't just all fly behind the lead ship and constantly crash into each other.
Ladi battle group scanning.
So that's another reason to play 0 Hour,
Data download started.
to get those more stable fleets.
Scan complete. Teladi battle group heavy osprey scanning.
Okay, let's build the second outpost.
Data download started.
Down in this corner here.
Command accepted. Command
And then you can head back home. The TL will automatically resume his architect task when he is in his home base and has nothing better to do.
Scan complete. Teladi battle group heavy osprey scanning.
Oh yes, we are getting some nice progress on this Teladi design.
Data download started. Command accepted. Scan complete. Teladi battle group scanning. Data download started. Scan complete.
You can map the gates, my guy.
Teladi battle group
And
Falcon
while we are here, we are also scanning the Falcon.
scanning. Nomad Osiris.
Here you can see one of the mobile factory ships of the Nomads. Those have also been improved a bit in 0 Hour 2.0. Now they actually show you what they are producing currently. So this ship, you can see it in the name, it's currently producing ore, so it's basically like a mobile ore mine, which is a bit immersion breaking because it's not carrying an asteroid around. But the other ware in brackets is the type of resource that the Nomads are buying currently. And now you can actually attract those ships. So they have, you can see it right here, they have smaller ships stocked. And this big guy, he wants sea rations right now to make ore. And if you are selling lots of sea rations in your outpost, then he will actually come to your sector. And those guys, they will buy your sea rations. And there's another benefit if they come to you, because they will basically buy your drugs, the space weed
Autopilot off.
that gets produced in all your outposts, but can be difficult to sell. And the Nomads are one way to sell your space weed. The satellite factory has started working. and I will go into station settings and open it for traders so that they can come to buy satellites. And then we set a transfer threshold of 1 credit. And this means when a trader comes to buy our satellites, then he will pay the satellite factory, and this factory will transfer all money above 1 credit into our main account. And this is some nice early game income.
Pirate Mamba. Autopilot off. Mission completed. Target is now in firing range.
He's too far away.
Target left firing range.
So Theo's Doubt leads to the north. And there's an east gate. So we have another small cluster of sectors here. All right, second outpost. This one requires fish to grow the population. Our other sector is producing fish, so that matches up. And we still had some fish as our starting resource, so we can take a freighter, one of these snow trucks, and transport the fish to the other sector. And just dump it in there, so that we get some extra tax money. And here we have another Teladi fleet. I'm switching the research project over to the Heavy Osprey. You could also go for the advanced version. It's just the same ship but cheaper, but it also takes a lot more research points. Okay, so we have more gates down here.
Command accepted.
The Kia is probably going to die soon.
Pirate Mamba. Teladi supply Drake. Pirate Mamba. No aim.
That's some serious firepower here from the Teladi.
Rear guard. Teladi rear guard. Cormorant.
Overkill against that pirate. Okay, and I believe this fleet should suffice to unlock the Heavy Osprey.
Entering system. Hatikva's faith. Teladi rear guard. Cormorant. Autopilot activated.
Let's see how much research this cap ship would require.
Data download started. Scan complete.
Yeah, way too much. But we can switch our research station back to the OCV Corvette because I believe those ospreys are enough
Teladi, rear guard, heavy osprey. Teladi, autopilot off. Autopilot
to get
active.
closer.
Teladi, rear guard, scanning. Data download started. Scan complete. Teladi, rear guard, heavy scanning. Data download started. Scan complete.
All right, one more,
Rear guard, heavy scanning.
and this should be it. Oh, we already had this one.
Rear guard, heavy scanning. Scan interrupted. Autopilot activated. Scanning. Data download started. Scan complete. Data download.
And we got the blueprint. That's very nice.
Rear guard, turn.
Let's go for the turn 2. This is a M7 carrier.
Scanning. Autopilot off. Autopilot activated.
Let's build a heavy osprey.
Scan complete. Teladi, autopilot activated. Scanning. Data download started. Scan complete. Autopilot off.
Okay. Yeah, the organs are here.
Command accepted.
Interesting. Dropping off the food. The heavy osprey has just finished, and I want to set it up as a new fleet commander. This is supposed to be a powerful fleet, which kind of locks the pirates down in our area so that we can hunt down their large groups. Let's see how many fighters we could afford, because our resources are limited. So we can build 7 heavy ospreys before we run out, and at the moment we are only producing crystals and computer components. And as for the fighters, we could build about 60 mambas. So let's build 50 of those. I will add them to the reinforcement list for the osprey. We want 50 mambas. And this fleet is only supposed to retreat when they spot a frigate or larger. And we will use it to hunt down big ships. So ignoring fighters and freighters. And I will activate monitoring once the mambas are complete. So we have just spent almost all of our resources and a good chunk of our population. This will cut in our income, the taxation income, but those 50 mambas, I will put them to good use, clear out the pirates, and then we're gonna hunt for some bounties. The second outpost should come online any minute, but I don't actually have a use for it. At least for the outpost itself, so I will mostly build the stations there. And if you didn't notice, the architect can work in your entire empire. So I still have those 2 factories in the first sector. They are still planned for construction, but I can already issue more stations. And I want the Rasta refinery, chemical lab, tellurium foundry, hull plating production, and the quantum tube factory. I want to get those ship crafting components. And the Rasta refinery is important because Rasta oil can also be rare on the market. And it's required to build stations. We also need explorers, because the first satellites are coming online. But I don't have ships to place them. I should have ordered the explorers before ordering those mambas. Let's see if we can steal more resources down here.
Entering system, Kingdom End. Trader, Demeter. Command accepted. Command accepted.
And the KR is slowly inching towards the OCV. We should activate another agent to serve our factories. You don't have to use this new automatic way to build agents. You can still assign them manually. So I have various freighters docked at my first outpost. I can tell this Snotra to set him as the home base and then start working as an agent. No, it's blocked. Could be another bug. I believe I have to raise the limit. This could be it. So if I tell him I want 2 Snowtras, then he should not build a new one, but put the other Snowtra that I just home based to this outpost to work. Let's see if this works. Otherwise I have to fix it. It's not updating so frequently, so it could take a while. But he just switched over to 2 agents, so he is using the existing Snowtra. That is working fine. I'm actually a bit glad that this works so well. Makes it so much easier. Just being able to tell how many agents you want, and then the outpost builds it.
No trading station. Trader Demeter.
Alright, he's carrying protein paste. Let's get him out of the station and then we will blow him up.
Command accepted.
And steal his stuff.
Protein paste. Cargo bay now contains protein paste.
You were positive.
And sell it back to the trading station.
Successfully docked. Connection to local trading network established.
Oh, I'm still carrying something else. Right, I loaded this freighter up with Chelsea meat and chemicals. Completely forgot about that. Let's get those goods into our outpost then. And I'm gonna continue with the care.
Entering system. Twisted skies.
So please dock in Farnham's Legend.
Command accepted.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So we need sea rations for our ore mine. Let's have the Bragi buy them at the trading station. But it's very expensive.
Sea ration bought.
Gonna go for 10k for now. Then drop it off.
Command accepted. Ron Carr's trial.
So this is a gate connection to the OCV. Should we take a peek?
Pirate Susanova Hauler. Entering system. Ron Carr's trial.
Well, hello there. I'm looking for other gates, but this seems to be the only one. This seems to be the only connection for the OCV to enter our galaxy. And now I will see where this path is going. Whether it connects to the other end.
Entering system. Twisted skies.
This is some vital information. I think I'm gonna delete the home base on my Mamba fleets because they never seem to catch any enemies. The benefit of having a home base on your fleets is that they are returning to it, and when they are docked, they save maintenance cost. But I kinda want them hang out in space and just keep killing enemies and not return home all the time. But it also repairs them when they are docked, so it has its use.
Pirate Susanova Hauler.
For those guys, I kind of prefer the speed of just staying in space and killing.
On behalf of our President and Senator, the Argon Federation thank you for your help with this invader.
You have gained recognition.
Yeah, don't get used to it. I think we both know where this is going down. Filthy Argons. The maintenance screen says that we are broke in 2 hours. So this could become interesting. I think our 2 satellite factories will save us though, because they are quite profitable, usually at least. And it always takes them a while to reach the selling threshold. In station settings, you can see that they are only starting to sell once 40% of the cargo is filled with satellites. You can adjust those, but I usually just leave them at default. But that's this percentage here. Once it reaches 40%, then faction traders are coming to buy those satellites, and they are rather valuable. And we also have some other stuff in our outpost that we can sell. And a big fleet is coming online, which will increase our maintenance cost, yes, but we can use it to hunt pirates. And this will give us lots of money. And also our sector is getting a higher tax efficiency as we build more stations and as time passes. So it's not as grim as it might seem by looking at this maintenance screen here. Yeah, the Boron are constantly sending fleets through my sector, but I'm fine with that. I want to befriend the Borons. Don't fight them just yet. And the Paranids are, of course, our origin faction. So I want to keep loyal to them too.
Entering system. New income.
But the Teladi are fair game. They are to the north. But at the moment I'm not really interested in more sectors. The two I have are expensive enough. Oh, this guy is still returning home. What's your problem, man? Just stay here. Now, who is bringing the sea rations? It was the Bragi. He still takes a while.
Entering system. Cathedral of Czar.
Whoop. We almost collided here.
Autopilot off.
And the second outpost has started to generate tax income. %37 tax efficiency. And the first sector is at 49. Still growing. And once we stop building ships, our population will grow. And at the current level, with a full population, we would already break even. So we are making 20k at the moment. Population is about half. The sector costs 40k per hour. So if we double that, we could pay for sector upkeep. And tax efficiency is still growing higher. So it's not a problem as long as you take your time and don't expand too fast. I know that this might be a bit unpopular, the way this is balanced now. But to be honest, I kind of want to force people to slow down a bit. And if it doesn't appeal to you, you can always just play on the normal difficulty, not deal with the sector upkeep. And if you want to play on hard difficulty but without sector upkeep, you can even do that. because there is a T-file setting, of course, to reduce it or just disable it. Everything is modifiable. Now let's see if we have a west gate to the OCV, but I don't think that I saw one. Doesn't seem like that. So this is probably connected to the rest of the galaxy. And the only way out for the OCV is down. Okay. We should be safe here. The worst thing this can happen would be that the Xenons send a strong fleet to us. One of the Nomad factory ships is visiting our sector, but we're not selling the sea rations he wants. So he can go F himself. But if my sector would be selling sea rations, then the smaller Nomad ships docked at this factory ship, 5 of them, would now undock and come to pick the sea rations up. And of course they would pay for them. I'm still not sure whether my fleet is working correctly. Because the guy is just on standby all the time. Yeah, I have to check what the problem is here. He's just switching between sectors. Constantly detecting other enemies. So let me check that quickly. Should be fixed now. And the guy is going for the pirate. Our Bragi is coming in with the sea rations for the new ore mine. And we have finished the 50 Mambas. So our main battle fleet is ready. I will send the Osprey out in the field to search for this group of pirates, which was roaming around there. And we start to build like 2 explorers. They can be based on outposts now, but you have to provide the satellites. I will build 2 Pericles as explorers and set up an agent job to haul in a few of the satellites. And we want like 20 from reachable factories. All right. Usually I try to base my explorers on satellite factories, because this allows you to control the range where the satellites are placed. on the outpost they have to use the worker range, which is also valid for your agents and traders, and that one is usually much shorter than on a satellite factory where you can cover the entire map basically. But I want to test how well the outpost-based explorers are working. Yeah, and our response fleet has a bit of trouble to catch the fast pirate fighters, but at least he's now actually going after them. I need to get some satellites out in this area to find the pirates.
Entering system. Homily of perpetuity.
And apparently we found the alternate route down to the OCV from this area, because there is another gate in the sector leading to Zyrt's dominion. Eventually the Argons will get trouble with the OCV, it looks like. Bragi has arrived with the sea rations. I'm gonna drop them and send him back to a trading station. We also have an Oceania incorporated trading station up here.
Docking granted. Command accepted.
For my playstyle, it's rather important to have a trading station nearby. And we have the pirates, so let's grab a save. And then I'm switching over to my fleet and lead them into battle.
Entering system. Farnham's legend.
This should give us a bit of money. Just double checking my settings. Looks good. Our fleet is looking glorious. In the fleet settings screen, you can see your battle value. This is like a combined strength rating. Doesn't have much to do with the actual strength, but it's sort of a rough estimation. And being just shy of 300 battle value this early in the game is really good.
Command accepted.
Now let's draw their attention.
Susanova, Raider. Target left firing range. Pirate Harrier.
And now even the Telades have signed a truce with the Paranids. Oh yeah, it's not a non-aggression pact, it's just a truce, okay. That's nothing special.
Pirate Saber. Pirate Pirate Barracuda. Pirate Susanova. Pirate Kia. Ma Pirate Tenjin Sentinel.
So this should be the lead ship.
Target is now in firing range. No aim.
And we got a little bit of money.
Mamba. Pirate Tenjin.
We are desperate for every little credit. And the Borons have moved into our protection zone. So usually the factions won't claim sectors which are directly next to you, but there are no guarantees, and in this case they ignored the rules. And I also got infamy, which makes this more likely, so it's not really a surprise. The explorers have been assigned, and now they only need the satellites. Which still takes some time. We could send another ship to grab them just manually.
Docking granted.
It's probably for the best.
Accepted.
Also take a look at our glorious empire here. The first few stations.
No aim. Demeter Minor.
And now it's much safer to actually sit in your own sectors and admire the view. Previously, this would give your mining ships a bit of trouble, and they would often crash into debris. But Modern has come up with a solution for that, and now the ships, in case they get destroyed, they get recovered. So just respawned. Or no, I believe the recovery is when your own ships collide with each other, and for the miners it's just that their collision is disabled basically. So they can't even collide with anything. We could actually test this
Demeter
by trying to shoot at them. If we take like one laser and shoot at our miner, then the bullet is going straight through the ship. So collisions are disabled for miners, and that's why they no longer die when colliding with debris. It's a bit of an exploit, because if your miners get attacked by pirates, then you can just teleport in the sector and they will be immune to fire. But it's just more convenient. Okay, let's grab a save. But we did have a much larger group of pirates around. Apparently they have left the area. Also, I need to buy Chel's meat. Didn't some ship already grab those? I feel like we had one ship with Chel's meat. Yeah, this one. The Snowdra Advanced, which is also docked. Okay, so drop the wares. The Chel's meat is important for our Rasta refinery in the next sector. I decided to skip building my own Chel's factory and straight up get the Rasta refinery. This is a station crafting component that we need more of because we only have 158 left. We also need Telladianium, but we are building the factory already. So we should be fine with those resources. The Dolphin has landed. Let's grab the satellites and head back to the outpost so that our explorers can start working. And we could go into the boron sector and maybe wait for some enemies.
Command accepted.
So how about food? Eventually I have to set up an automated food transfer solution. But for now I'm just sending the occasional freighter from one outpost to the next, dropping off the fish that I need.
Repository.
Karg battle mission in Brennan's Triumph. Oh, that's a bit far away.
Autopilot off.
We could already try to go after the Xenon actually. So maybe take a sweep around Boron sector and then come up down here into Emperor Mines.
Entering system. Brennan's Triumph. New mission received. New mission received.
The first satellites are coming online and we now have vision on the pirate base in Sigma. So let's actually go there first. Take them out to drive the pirates out of my area of space. And we can set up cash transfer for our outposts so that they give us all the money above 1 credit. Help us collecting the tax income.
Entering system. Acquisition repository. Docking granted. Command accepted. Command accepted.
I'm buying some more Chel's meat and some chemicals.
Chemicals bought.
And some more microchips.
Microchips bought. Docking granted. Command accepted.
The strategy is to maximize production times in my factories.
Command accepted.
As long as they are producing, it's viable to buy the basic resources they need, because the value you are creating in your factories is much higher than what you have to spend for the resources. But of course, this is only true if you are also selling stuff to make money. If you consume everything for ship or station construction, then of course you will run out eventually. We have a new ship design. I'm actually running out of ideas what I want to research. I don't want to go for any of the very large cap ships, because it's more efficient if you capture such a ship and then reverse engineer it before starting the research. So I believe I will just go for the OCV research for the biggest ship. The point of OCV ships is that they are kind of a secret super weapon that you can use. The research rate gets boosted for OCV ships depending on the rate of abnormal signals in the sector. And since my research station has very high signals, it makes sense to research OCV ships. They are very cheap and you can use them in a pinch. Now the pirates ran straight into us. It's very fortunate.
Pirate, Tenjin, Sentinel. Pirate,
That's another 100k.
low aim. Rolk's fate.
And now that we start to get the first satellites in faction space, all these boron sectors here, I will set my second fleet of Mambas, these response fleets with 3 fighters each. Both of them are set to respond to enemies in player sectors. And the reason why only one fleet is responding up to this point is that it's now also considering, so the second fleet is sitting in the outpost, and when he detects enemies, he is checking whether other response fleet are already handling the threat. So either another response fleet is already in the sector where the enemies are, or another response fleet is headed to that sector. And because I have a second fleet which is already handling those threats, the first fleet just sits in the outpost. So I can use it to monitor not player sectors, but boron sectors. And now he should start to pick up individual pirates in those sectors where I have satellites and take them out for more reputation and bounties and stuff like that.
Entering system. Rolk's fate.
Now you don't have to take out the pirates in your starting area, the pirate bases, but usually it's a very solid strategy to do so. There are a few more use cases.
Sigma.
For example, you can just use them to grind bounties. If you have strong fleets in a sector with a pirate base, you can just keep them there and then just kill them once they spawn.
One of your ships is under attack. Farnham's legend.
And now you can also sell space wheat to pirate bases.
Sigma. Autopilot off.
And since all your outposts are producing space wheat, this can be a reason to keep them around. And you can also buy mercenaries here, like marines. But if I want those, I'm just searching for another pirate base. And the response fleet is working perfectly. So far they have not taken damage.
Command accepted.
Bragi has dropped off the resources. Maybe we should assign another agent. Let's bump them up to 3 ships. We should still have enough resources to pull this off. TM.
Pirate Caravel.
Can we catch him? Looks like it.
Pirate Tenjin. Pirate
Some more money for us.
Hauler. Pirate Tenjin. You are being promoted. Pirate base.
And the outpost is automatically replacing losses that our main fleet here suffers. We just lost a Mamba, but a new one is already finished. And that's because I have set a reinforcement quota for 50 Mambas. So here we have the pirate base. And I'm gonna destroy it.
Attention, one of your ships is under attack. Farnham's Legend. Autopilot activated. Target is now in fire.
I just don't want to deal with the pirates. And we're also disabling the in-game voiceovers because they are very annoying once you start fighting more often. And here we have a pirate boss ship. And the deal with these is if you manage to kill the shields very quickly, then the ship will bail out. It's like a small reward that you can get for going after the pirate bases early on. And our fleet was very powerful, so we managed to make him bail. And have just upgraded our ship to a washy M7 frigate. Not all pirate bases will spawn such a big ship. But I believe the default chance is like 60% or so. So it's a very good idea to go after the pirates once you have a like 300 battle value fleet also. And now our combat power is way higher. I will go immediately to face the Xenon. The Xenons have 2 stations in the sector, but none of the truly big cap ships. That's why we can pull this off so early. Let's clear the ships first. And then we're gonna say invade this sector and the autopilot should take care of it. Another load of fish has made its way from the first to the second outpost. Oh, we still have a P around. More of these guys, but they don't stand the slightest chance. Now, what kind of turret setting do I need so that it's shooting the station automatically? Yeah, so maybe I have to twiddle this, because when you are sitting in a cap ship which doesn't have main gun batteries like this one, the Washi only has like turrets which track targets individually. And with the default settings, even if you set them to attack all enemies, then it doesn't seem to pick up the stations. And you would have to say something like invade sector or tell the autopilot to attack this station. And I have just switched the attack capital turret command. You can tweak all turret commands in game options under gameplay, and then you have turret command configuration. And for attack capitals, I have added that it should also attack what I'm currently targeting, so that they pick up the station as an enemy. Yeah, the game is really suited more for the automation, because the followers will only attack if the lead ship itself is attacking the station. And when your turret's shooting at something, that doesn't necessarily mean that the ship is attacking it. It's a bit weird. Everything is tailored around this fleet invade sector command. When you use that, then it clears the stations properly. But when you're sitting in a cap ship, then you actually have to start shooting at it, so that your followers also attack the station. I haven't come up with a way to make this easier. Every player likes to do it a bit different. And you also don't want to shoot at all hostile stations all the time, so it's really difficult to pull off and get right. Now over to the second station. Because what I want to do is to start shooting at the station, then the Xenon defenders undock from the station and my fleet followers will automatically attack them. I want to kill those ships first. So like this, I have selected the station. The Washi starts shooting and now the enemy undocks and my followers engage. I think this should be smarter. Because with the first station, my fighters also focused on the station, and then the Xenon defenders caused some losses. Don't really want that. But this is the guy I'm after here, this Xenon frigate. Let's wake him up. And there he is. And then we clean up. All right. So the immediate danger has been dealt with. And now I want to recycle this Washi. In 0 hour, when you recycle any ship for the first time, then you are sort of reverse engineering it. And this gives you a large portion of the blueprint. So it doesn't really make sense when you can acquire ships via boarding or from the pirate bases like this one. It doesn't make sense to start researching them and then reverse engineer, because it will only give you the first 75% of the blueprint. And if you already have 30% unlocked in your research station, then this is basically wasted time. And recycling, of course, also gives you some resources back. And that's why I don't have problems with recycling this ship. Because once I have more resources, I can just rebuild it. And then we will create a small army of washies. Now our response fleet has picked up a fight that they may not be able to win. Let's see. I might have to twiddle their settings a bit so that they retreat from slightly less enemy power. But the other pirates are actually up here, so it should be fine. Yeah, I don't want them to engage groups like that, so let's set their retreat to 2-1. So when the enemy has twice as many ships, then they shall retreat. And since those are 6 pirates and I have 3 ships, they should retreat from that. Let's see if it works. But it could also be that they need 7 ships, that 6 is not enough. Yeah, probably you would need 7 ships. But those seem to be individual pirates and not a group, because I just killed one of them and the others didn't care. So it's fine. Alright, time to switch ship. I'm going back into the Osprey and make him the fleet leader again. The Washi is leaving the fleet and docking with our outpost. And we update our followers to follow the Osprey. And then head east to the Borons. So crystals and computers are coming in from my factories. I'm slowly gaining more of those. The problem now is hull plating and quantum tubes. And I can't build those factories because I'm missing the required station crafting components. But I already have the factories for those, so waiting should resolve the issue. But what I do not have is sea rations for my ore mine. And I should get more of those. Like... yeah, like those snow troughs down here. They can buy sea rations. taking your entire stock, and then we drop them off into our outpost. And sea rations seems to be something that we definitely need to produce next, because we already encountered a nomad factory ship which also wanted to buy sea rations. And if one of them is on this type of resource, then it's usually all of them, and they will soon buy out the entire galaxy. Now, do we have any patrol missions in the area? We have one in Fire. That sector is down here. Menelaus Oasis is up there. And I don't see the need to do anything for the Argons, so let's head to Fire then. All our factories are working. That's very good. And the Washi has entered the outpost, so I will go to the recycling bay and recycle the Washi. Now we have another thing to consider, because most of our ships that we are using so far, those Mambas here, it's not the split variant, but it's the pirate variant, or a Yaki variant. So it's a Yaki Mamba ship, and the pirate ships have a special quirk. It's easier to find spare parts and crew for them when you have infamy. And right now we don't have infamy. It has decayed all the way back to 0. And that means that we are paying double maintenance for these ships. And the Washi is also a pirate type ship. And if we want to build more of those, then we will ramp up our maintenance costs extremely. So all those Mambas here, they cost double maintenance right now because we don't have infamy. It basically means the pirates don't like us, and the pirates are the ones who are supplying us with spare parts. So we should also acquire some infamy to reduce our maintenance cost. And that means finding some traders to blow up. So it would be beneficial to call a few freighters to follow us. so that we can scoop up the loot. And we just finished reverse engineering the washi. Now our blueprint is at 75%, so we can start researching it. But our research progress is also halved because we don't have infamy. So our connections with the criminal underworld are not the best at the moment, so it's difficult for us to acquire the construction plans for those ships. Also, our damaged followers should go for repairs, but I believe that's not triggering because all the pirates are flying around here and they only go when the sector is safe. So let's see if that actually happens when the pirate leaves. They should head over to the outpost. And apparently they don't, so I need to check this again. Yeah, seems to be broken. Yep, no repairs, so I will check this out. Alright, the issue is fixed. And our damaged fighters move in to get repaired. I need to build more explorers. Let's build 2 Pericles for each of the satellite factories. Because I would like to move into another sector by now. But I want one with really good stats, and that's why we need the explorers to uncover the map. And I need infamy, so let's go for traders. This Tenjin down here can also become a fleet commander. And I have fighters docked at the outpost. Let's go to the docked ships. We have 3 Mambas. I believe I have a bunch of other random fighters somewhere, like the Cougar Raider and the Arrow, all of them down there. Okay, they are all docked to this food factory, so let's go to command console, landed ships, and assign them to the Tenjin. Small fleet of 4 fighters, and we will set them to hunt for freighters in those 2 sectors here. Or maybe even in those. Those are closer to our outpost, and then we set up a looter who will collect what the freighters are dropping. Yep, here's the Xenon mission. That's why we came here. So I will set this pirate fleet up a little bit different. No scanning range, focus all on the same target. No retreat. And our target priority is neutral TS with cargo. And we monitor this sector, our sector, and the ones up here. And then we send them over there. And this Bragi can become our looter. So let's give him the home base and raise the looter cap to 1. And this should use the Bragi to become a looter. Or I can just activate him. Quite some Xenon in this sector here. These fight missions scale up with your fight rank. And since we already did a bunch of them, the fleets are getting bigger. And they are going after miners who drop some crystals. And since we have freighters following us, we can tell them to collect the loot in this sector. I think there's another one coming in. Yes, this one. You can also collect loot here. Okay, we got quite some money from this Xenon mission. And there are some neutral traders here. This one is carrying microchips. Let's go for him. And our two freighters here can pick up those goods. We already got a bunch of minerals, which were dropped when the Xenon attacked the miners in this sector. And you don't carry anything, so let's collect those microchips. Now the performance is tanking a bit in this sector. Sometimes you get a station which is clipping inside some asteroid, or an asteroid which is clipping inside another asteroid. There's not really much that we can do to fix issues like that. Got some action in Midnight Star. Yeah, our fleet tried to escape from a Xenon patrol. Now where are those coming from? It seems like we have another Xenon sector somewhere in this area. Let's start the explorers. Just setting a replacement outpost, and then we crank up the numbers for Pericles, and I'm raising the worker distance on the satellite factory to 80 jumps. And this will cover the entire galaxy and slowly populate it with more satellites. And by the way, if you don't want to mess with these new worker quotas, I have also fixed the issue that let's take this miner here. If we want to assign this miner to this outpost, then the manual worker command was grayed out previously. You had to set up a quota for miners before the command would become available, but I figured some players would not want to do this and just use manual workers. So I fixed this, and you can now start workers even when you don't have set up any quotas. So it will just say you have 1 of 0 miners, but in this case the 0 just says you don't have an automatic replacement quota for miners set up. But you can still assign miners. if that makes sense. Okay, here we have a trading station. And this Snotra is carrying loot. So let's sell it. And then I'm sending the first Mamba to fly through this gate and take a look what's behind it. While we can do either more missions, like this defense contract. Xenon are actually coming from the south. So let's call the Mamba back. And then I will probably go for some bounties. Because that would give us more money than missions, I believe. Actually, in Rolk's Fate, which is our sector, we have a group of pirates. So maybe if we build some Ospreys quickly, we can take them out. Let's see. We should have more resources from that washi that we recycled. Yeah, I'm building 3 heavy Ospreys, but damn, they have quite the crew cost. And this is a new thing. When your population is at maximum, you really have to consider whether you want to build ships, because building 3 corvettes now would cost me 30 people. And when the population is high like that, you get a lot of tax income, but it also takes very long to grow the population to that high level. And I actually care more about the money, so I will go for... I'm going for an OCV ship in this case. We're building 1 PX. Now the OCV ships, they cost more computer components. This shipbuilding menu has sort of a color legend going on. So everything in orange is basically worse than usual. So the computer component cost for OCV ships is higher than for the other ships. But the hull plating and quantum tubes, they are in green, so they are cheaper. You can see this if you compare with the Osprey. The PX costs about as much, but less hull plating and quantum tubes, and it costs more computers. But it also doesn't cost any crew, because it's an AI ship. And you can use that to crank them out very quickly. Lots of OCV ships for massive firepower. But there is a twist to it, because you cannot use OCV ships against the Xenon or the OCV. And eventually you will lose control of those ships. And when that happens, the faction which is closest to the location where you lost control will also hate that you have dumped a bunch of hostile machine ships onto them. So the OCV eventually takes control of any OCV ships that you build. There's sort of a hidden computer virus on these ships. Damn, the Paranet stole the kill from me. And building an OCV ship also completes the new mission, Synthetic Dawn, which is part of the new quest line. even when that wasn't my intention. More Paranids, and again with very good sector stats. That's crazy how many factories the Paranids can build. We better get on their good side then. So I'm just sending the OCV ship to kill the pirate leader. And he should be able to pull it off because those ships are quite powerful. Cheap and powerful. But also dangerous. There is no easy way to get rid of those. If you self-destruct them, you get a penalty from TerraCorp. And when they turn on you, you lose reputation. We just got a bit of infamy. This must have been the pirate fleet up here in Boron space. The fighters that I have set up to hunt for freighters in those 4 sectors, they have just picked up a Teladianium transport. But my looter is currently busy somewhere. So let's just send another ship. This Snowdra was delivering resources. Please collect the Teladianium. That's very good. So I think we found the corner of this map here. There is no more south gate. Yeah, I have to ramp up my looters so that they can collect all the drops that the pirate fleet is causing. Let's crank those numbers up to 3. And we're using the Snotra. You can actually use military style ships to become looters. This can be viable if you have problems with the pirates, because in general they won't attack corvettes, M6. But the pirates rarely attack me because I have infamy, so it's not a big deal for me, and I'm just going for the cheaper freighters. Let's hide this miner and then assign 4 miners for our second outpost. No need to let that money go to waste. Okay, and the PX is about to engage the pirate. Let's see if he makes it. And it doesn't seem like it. The Quasar is pretty tanky. Yeah, it's not enough. I'm not gonna save scum this one. I'm just building 2 PXs then. And try again. Now our architect is also finished with the station orders that we gave him. And we still have 4 slots left in our second sector. So I believe we can now go for those sea rations that we need. So let's build 2 protein paste blending facilities and 2 food preparation facilities. And once we have those, we will build a second outpost, and then maybe the explorers have found a good sector for that. Hopefully our looter is coming back with the Teladianium. We really need that. Our hull plating facility has eaten up everything that we had. And the borons have already picked it up. Of course. So it's probably for the best if I let my Snotra follow the pirate fleet. And when I get the message that I got infamy, I know they have popped another trader, and then my cargo ship is nearby to pick up the stuff. And since I need that Teladianium, I will tell the sturgeon to buy more. Full cargo load. Then we go from here to the outpost to drop it off. This Snotra has crystals loaded up. Let's sell those. A little bit of profit here, and then we cannot buy sea rations, so just get more Teladianium and head back home. Yeah, the faction salvage crews, they don't sleep. They also like to pick up stuff. So the PX. Where's that pirate? Incentati. Hopefully the Boron police doesn't kill him. I'm sending the other PX to just protect. Yeah, protect the first PX. Okay, we have another dead end down here. The sector is not connected to the other. We have another one here. But this is potentially also a good area for us, because the Paranid like us the most. Even if we have more reputation with the Borons right now, it's still that the starting race, which is Paranid for us, will always be the ones who are most friendly to you. Like when it comes to declaring war and stuff. Stuff that happens later on. Your starting faction is always more lenient with that, more friendly. I don't like how we are locked. We don't have the sea rations to feed our ore mine, so the quantum tube production is standing. But we don't have the Teladianium to build the required food factories. That's only coming in slowly. And thankfully they're going that route and not here with the pirate flying around. Okay, then let's hop into the PX. When the Osprey is still hidden because he was a fleet follower once. So I might want to change this, that when you promote a follower to fleet commander, this should unhide him. Make a quick note. Let's send him back to the outpost for a few inspections and stuff. Oh, and the quick access should not affect worker ships. This is something that I also need to change. Picking up new ideas and stuff to fix. Now the pirate is coming back. So we should be able to catch him. But I should fly slower so that our other corvette can catch up. Right there. This time we will get him. He's fighting with the police. Oh damn, they are stealing the kill. Can't believe it. The Paranid police is killing the Quasar. God damn it. Well, thank you, my friends. I feel really safe with you, officer. But that's the kind of emergent gameplay that I like so much, that you cannot really predict what's gonna happen. In this case, the Paranid got the bounty. Well, we get a ship at least. And they only got that kill because my first attempt already damaged the pirate leader. Let's just go for another bounty. But they are all very far away, which is kind of a good thing. Because it was our intention to drive the pirates out. And this seems to be working. Okay, back to missions it is then. But we cannot fight OCV or Xenons with our OCV ship. Here you have those other missions. So the Synthetic Dawn questline will eventually lead you towards an alternative ending, where you join up with the OCV and start to fight all the other factions, basically. It's sort of an evil, all-out war ending, and it also simplifies the game a bit. So you don't have to care about taxes or food or population, crew, stuff like that, because you become sort of a machine empire yourself, basically. And if you want to go that route, you need to do those Synthetic Dawn questlines. And in this case, we have the alternative. We could allow a jump beacon to get infected by the Xenon. Or if we build enough OCV ships, so ships like this one, then we can also make progress with the Synthetic Dawn questline. But in this playthrough I will not go this route. I actually want to defeat the OCV this time. So now we have a bunch of OCV ships and nothing to do for them. We can't recycle them, can't destroy them. But we can fight the pirates. The thing with the OCV weapons is that they hit super hard, but there's a long delay, low rate of fire. The defense fleet is doing an excellent job. And the pirate fleet is not attacking other pirates. They are just focusing on neutral traders that they can kill without a reputation hit. You can actually join them. The new fighter, he should go repair on his own. Now, where is the Teladianium? It's slowly coming in. Very, very slowly. Let's also assign a tug ship. Pericles. And our explorers are busy, and we get to know a few more empty sectors. Up here we have another pocket of Paranids. We could help them, because they are already getting hammered by the Teladi, as it seems. Actually, who are our enemies? So we are, of course, neutral, but I am considering myself to be a Paranid, and they are hostile with the Teladi and the Borons. Well, they had a non-aggression pact, but apparently that has timed out. This is pretty typical that in the early game the factions don't have many fleets, and so they sign these non-aggression treaties with each other, and then they build more ships, and suddenly a lot of wars are starting. So we don't have any of those peace agreements anymore, and more fighting is picking up. You have those kind of long cycles of peace and conflict depending on the ship population in the galaxy. Now the Xenons have conquered a sector, but we cannot see it yet. Doesn't seem to be in our corner of the galaxy, so I'm not too worried. Now we search for pirates. This one looks promising. But it's all the way down there. Well, let's go there. Now these pirate carriers are interesting. He's currently headed to the pirate base back there to grab more fighters, and they get a bounty when they drop pirate fighters near freighters. So their job is to carry them behind enemy lines, so to speak. And he has a fairly high bounty because these carriers get a bounty increase for every fighter they drop. And when the bounty is very high, they will also head back to a pirate base to get a new paint job, and this will reset the bounty. So if you lie in wait at a pirate base, you can get lucky and intercept such a ship, which is trying to reset its bounty. And if we kill him, we get loads of money. But it's difficult because those ships also know that their best defense is the speed. So they won't stop to fight you. They will just fly further. And the only real way to catch them is either at the jump gates or when they are heading to a pirate base. Because otherwise they are just flying randomly and you can't really catch them. And this might be too late. If he manages to dock there, then this could reset his bounty. So let's see if we can get him. So if I had set this up better, I might have been able to destroy him. Oh, we're still getting him. Easy money. I will load up my Osprey with space weed and send him over to this pirate base. All your outposts produce space weed, but you actively have to sell it. There's no trader coming to you to buy it, but it's also not illegal to carry. The police is not scanning your ships. Those Terran battle cruisers have a real punch. And now even an incredible range. Okay, and the sector is ours. Let's unlock some perks. We can now utilize the adjacency bonus pretty well. So let's go for this one. Well, we only get a bonus in this sector because it has 2 sector connections, but I'm still unlocking it in the others just to have it in case we get another sector nearby. That's the adjacency. This sector doesn't need the adjacency bonus because it can only ever have 1 sector connection. There is no other gate, so you don't need to bother. And I'm actually going for a new perk, which is called Jump Station. And this converts the outpost into a jump beacon itself. So it will work just like your typical jump beacon, but it doesn't cost upkeep and it cannot be infected by the xenons. And I will do the same in this sector and in this sector because they are a bit further away from this one. And then our ships can just jump between sectors without needing a jump beacon. And this also improves our tax efficiency a bit, because this also benefits when the jump distances are shorter in your empire. So let's go for the jump station perk. And the new sector is also getting the insurance policy because the population is very large. We don't want any bad events here. And this already puts us at the perk limit. And if we take the jump station down here, then we are also at the perk limit. And then we have a couple more perk slots in Rolk's Fate. Let's see, 3 perk slots. Well, we could go for the extra research rate and also unlock the Cyber War Center, because I need to test whether the hacking system is working correctly, so I have to do this eventually. And we have a lot of perks here, so why not do it here? I'm not converting the research station into a hacking station just yet, because I still want to unlock some ships here, at least the Washi. So let's just go for the Cyber War Center and extra faster research. The Cyber War Center will help us with hacking. It's sort of a passive perk. It does things automatically. You don't really need the hacking station perk for it. And it also benefits from a higher research rate. So this faster research perk helps us. The rate is now at 113%, which is pretty good. Okay, let's grab a save. And then I will put another jump beacon in this sector down here. This gives us access to a lot of Paranit stations and also a Pontifex corporation. And I will put the beacon quite close to it. The Pontifex corporation is important for us because it is selling a special type of food that we need. We have this outpost here consuming fruit with a high population. And then this one. And I already checked, there are not many other outposts around us which are producing food. This is kind of the only one, this boron one here. But it doesn't have a lot of population. So we have limited access to fruit in our area. And my plan is to buy it from the Pontifex Corporation. All trading stations trade in a certain type of food. And the only exception is the Yellow Corporation, which are the Teladi version. It is always trading in 2 different types of foods, 2 random food items, random per station. So one Sailcrest Corporation is trading in one type of food and the other is holding other types of food. So this also would have fruit and vegetables up here. And this one would trade in meat and vegetables again. So we will just rely on our tax income and buy the food that we need. This seems to be the best option. Let's add worker ships to our new sectors. For this, I'm just going into the worker section and import the settings from our second outpost in Works Fate. And this will give us the replacement outpost, the build quality. It sets up how many agents you need, miners. All that we had already set up in the second outpost is now also applied to the third outpost. And with this one, I'm doing the same. Just applying the same settings. Now I already have one freighter delivering. Here it is. He already delivered some vegetables to the new sector here, so that it can grow the population, but we need to bring more. And for this one, it would be wise to set up traders for real now. Our financial situation is pretty good and we're getting some extra cash from that space wheat soon. We are at the pirate base, and selling our space wheat gives us loads of money. Whoa. Did not expect this. Very nice. So this should solve our money problems. And we can set up trade. The TL has arrived. I'm dropping the jump beacon next to the trading station, and then it can head back home. Should use the teleport route. Yes, it is. Now we still have a couple of randomly looted fighters, and I will just use those as a new fleet commander, and they will protect the jump beacon.